Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode.
Welcome back.
In today's episode, we're going to talk about the feedback some of Amanda's girlfriends have shared with her, and about how specifically her sharing her journey has inspired them to be proactive in taking better care of themselves. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Good. So I'll let you take it away from there, and you can share a little bit, and then we'll have a conversation about it.
So after my diagnosis, I have heard from quite a few of specifically my girlfriends, who have said, I felt like something was happening. Like, one was having problems with the GI tract, the other one was having some headaches that really couldn't be explained, which, especially when I was diagnosed, I only had these really subtle headaches. And so my girlfriends have been very outspoken about having their doctors listen to them, and like really forcing them to listen to them. And I'm not trying to say like men versus women, but sometimes I think women get a little labeled like, I think we get like not often, but dismissed. And our symptoms can be explained by like a period, because our hormonal fluctuations are just very different than that of a man's. And my girlfriends were like not taking no for an answer. They were like, I want imaging, I want this, I want that. You are my provider, and you're going to do the things that I'm going to ask of you. And I'm not saying like we're always, or my girlfriends are here to like challenge the medical system, but I'm really proud of them for speaking up and saying exactly how they felt and like what they were feeling. And I did hear from quite a few of them that it was just various things that had happened, but I'm glad that they went, and I'm glad that they really honored those feelings. I could have easily gone another couple more weeks with glioblastoma without getting checked out. I mean, I know if you guys have been following along, you know the story of the Thursday before I got diagnosed. I knew something was a little off, and I went into the emergency room because I had these like little subtle, what I thought was like pressure headaches, and the guy tells me I have TMJ. So I have a terminal cancer, and the guy's going, he sees me for 5 seconds, like, oh, it's actually TMJ. Once again, hilarious. I work for a dental office, and I know darn well that's not TMJ, but I mean, here's the white coat situation of like, well, he knows best, so maybe it's all in my head. And no, it wasn't. Like, I didn't listen to myself then. After that appointment, I didn't really, like, I listened to myself to actually go to the doctor, but then I knew what he was saying was not accurate, but I just didn't know what it was. And I'm just proud of my friends, and anyone listening right now, if you have something like going on that in your knowing that something's a little off, I would much rather you guys have like a medical bill that sucks and you're like, that's $500 for nothing, than completely dismiss it and do nothing about it.
Yeah, I think that's a really important point, Amanda. It was so easy. I know it takes a lot for you to even go to the hospital in the first place, and to have a encounter where somebody gives you less than 3 minutes of their time and quickly dismisses you. It's really easy to start to question yourself and say, well, again, they know best. And that's the obstacle so many of us, and I do think women especially, are probably up against. Men, it might be their own ego more so than the white quote, but women, it's probably more so the authority figure and just societal conditioning of, you're overreacting, you're being overly emotional, you're being irrational. So for you to go and then go back.
Yeah.
And
the going back part was like, well, I mean, I felt like there was a very distinctive difference between Thursday and Sunday. Like, I mean, again, I went hiking on Sunday for a 5+ miler. But then when I fell, to me, there was no coming back from that.
Well, and I think that was for you, but you're more kinesthetically observant maybe than a lot of people might be.
Mm-hmm.
Kinesthetically observant meaning you have an awareness, a body awareness,
Mm-hmm.
maybe that most people may not have as keen of one as you do. And like you were saying, your headaches were very subtle, and a lot of people's symptoms come on very subtly. I know my dad, he had stomach pains when he got diagnosed with colon cancer, and that's one that doesn't historically have a lot of symptoms associated with it, at least if I'm remembering from the dialogues back then. And it was only because his tumor had gotten so large that it was actually pushing on his intestine that he was starting to have it. Now, who's to say if he had listened to something sooner or later, maybe he would have had a little bit different experience with it. We don't know. But what we do know is that you were willing to listen to your body. It got you in there, and thank goodness it did, because you were able to have a much more favorable surgical procedure than you would have if you waited. And because now you are vulnerably sharing week after week in this journey, some of your dear friends and probably many other people who you don't even know about are being more proactive in their health. They're honoring their knowingness. They're being adamant about it. And you're absolutely right. It's much better to have a bill that's kind of sucks to have, because what statistics say is that at some point there is going to be someone who you know or who knows of you who will listen to their knowingness and go in and get checked out, and they will find an unfavorable report from that. But the hope is that because they're doing it sooner than later, because of you sharing, they will have a much more favorable prognosis than they would have if they would have waited, which is what so many people do.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I'm really proud of you for doing that, and I'm proud of your girlfriends for listening to themselves and being proactive with it. And I bet that every single person probably watching or listening to this right now, I would be willing to bet that nearly everybody knows someone directly or knows of someone who waited too long. They didn't listen to their symptoms. They didn't proactively seek out help. And because of that, they may no longer be here, or they may be having a much more difficult period of life right now than they would have otherwise.
Yeah. Yeah. So make sure, if I'm being, and this is going to be probably a topic for something else or for a different episode, is I think it's really easy to disassociate from yourself and how you're feeling sometimes. And man, I am so glad that I did not dismiss what was happening on that Sunday, because I could have easily just gone, it's really not that big of a deal. But I was all in once I fell. I was like, okay, we're going to get to the bottom of this, because this is just like absolutely unacceptable. But I mean, there for so long, like, I think I sometimes disassociate from my own body in the sense of like, oh, it's fine. And then, but then one day it really wasn't fine.
Yeah, I think that's another topic that we should dive into.
Yeah.
I think you should write that on your list that you said you're going to write of future topics you want to discuss.
Yeah.
And we will wrap this one up here with that, saying, first of all, a big thank you to all you. Secondly, be sure to check out the It's Your Time to Shine Facebook group. We'll slowly over time begin to build that and have it be more of a hub of hopefully hope and helpfulness. Third, if you have questions for myself or Amanda, and you either about this topic or future topics, be sure to leave them in the comments. And as always, we love and appreciate you, and we will see you all again. Take care. Bye.